Good morning everyone, I'm Gary Martin and today we've got Rob back on the channel, who you'll have seen before when we did an alignment drill, didn't we?
Yeah.
So Rob's alignment was quite out and we got you sorted out, and during warm-up today we've checked that and you've managed to, you've persisted with it, haven't you? And you're feeling more comfortable.
I have, I played the other day and I hit, quite a few straight iron shots, which is exactly where I was aiming.
Yeah.
And I did take a lot of time when I was setting up to try and make sure my feet and shoulders were parallel to the ball, to the line.
Yeah, so we're going to move on from that now and we're going to show you a Slo-Mo Rob Swing, which is, if you look at it in slow motion, you'll see he's coming over the top, so it's quite shoulder control from top of your swing. And now Rob's aiming correctly, that could cause you a lot of problems, so we need to get that right. So we're going to work on trying to improve your swing play, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that.
Okay.
Right then, Rob, so if you can hit one up to that 150, and we're going to slow this swing down and just show people, what problem we've got here. It's something I've identified, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people that's got this same issue as well. Good connection, but yeah, you pulled it left, haven't you?
Yeah.
So it started left and it's flown left, and that's the problem that I see. Obviously, unless you really open your club face up, then that's when you're going to get that big slice.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and address this today, guys, and stay tuned on this one, because it's a very common problem. This.
It is. I mean, I'm not saying I've always had it. I've always had. Before I had the heart operations, and I had a slight draw. But then when I came back, my body wasn't doing what I wanted it to do.
Yeah.
And it was compensating, therefore I was coming out to win.
Yeah.
Big slice or pulling.
Yeah.
Like a rocket.
So I think in Rob's case, as you can see, he's quite well built and you've got quite broad shoulders, haven't you? So for, golfers trying to create power and distance, one of the biggest things I see is a lot of people don't have the right sequence of movement from the top of the swing. They're trying to pull with the hands, and it throws your shoulders open straight away, and then from there your club, if I just borrow your club, just give you a demonstration. If you're in this position here and you pull with your hands, you come this way, so you open your shoulders and your club gets steep like this, and all of a sudden you're coming from out to in and your club face is open because you've steepened your shaft off. And obviously from the outside and coming this way, unless you, like Rob there, he's squared it with his hands, he's corrected himself, but then pulled the ball left. It's very hard to hit a straight shot, once you get the wrong sequence of movement, and you're using your shoulders from the top. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk a little bit about sequence of movement, but we're also going to set up a station on the floor and give Rob some good swing thoughts for when he's practicing. So first things first, if you get yourself set up at 150 again, what we're going to need to do is firstly set up a target line, and there's a reason for this one. That's excellent. So we're going to set up a target line behind the ball, and what I want Rob to do is just make sure as he takes the club away, he's extending, he's taking the club down the target line. The club will open up on the line of his shoulders as his shoulders rotate. So you can see how he's got his toe to the sky there. So he's opened the club face without, setting the club on the inside. So he's working the club down the line, and then as his shoulders open, the club face points to the sky. Now if you just swing to the top of your backswing, Rob, there, that's it. So this shaft really, this butt of the club should be pointing at that target line here. If he's on plane, if there were an extension and, there's a tee here, you could just put a tee in the end of your grip there, just to give you a bit more of an indication. Rob's got some sensors in here, right? So we can't get one in. But that then should point to the target line, all right? Now, in your downswing, if you get to the top of your backswing again, in your downswing, what's happening is because you're pulling with your hands, this starts to point over here. And then as you're coming down, it's steepening because you're trying to hit that ball here. and then your club is on the outside of the line and coming this way.
Yeah.
So you need to get to the top of your backswing again, get to the top of your backswing. That's it. And the feeling that I want you to get is that you use the hips, so your right leg into your left, that's good. And what that does, the hands then get a little bit stuck behind, they get a bit behind.
Yeah.
So it's a more of a laid straight. So your right knee into your left. And as you're doing this, you're almost trying to get a thought or a feeling of the butt of your club pointing more towards the ball to target line. So as you start the downswing, what you don't want is your wrist to do that. You don't want your wrist to do this and straighten.
Yeah.
You've got to keep this laid off like that, so your hands feel like they're staying point at that ball to target line as you turn your hips, and then that's delivering your club more from the inside, so you can hit an in to square to in swing.
So when I'm at the top of my backswing, what's my trigger? What starts it? My hips?
Your trigger should be, my trigger is my right knee moves towards the left knee, and then that starts the turn of the hips, and then the chest follows. And you know, it will require some timing. You know, these first few shots you hit now, because it's a complete different sequence of movement, you might not strike the ball so well.
So it's there, and then just slightly.
Yeah, but you see already how your hands are, look at the butt, the butt's pointing to the floor here.
Yeah.
You've got to keep that laid off.
Right.
You've got to keep that sort of at target line. So from there, as them hands come forward, they're staying at that line, because then look how the shaft's lent behind you. It's on plane. Your shaft comes off plane like this because you straighten like that, so it's not on the rail. You know, like swing plane. You might have seen these swing plane machines.
That does feel odd. It's
there. That's better. That's better. So your shaft actually drops back in line with your feet. You swing to the top again. Sorry if we're being a bit repetitive here, guys, but this is a genuine lesson for Rob. You know, he's not tried this before, so he's got to get it bedded in. So as you're coming down, if that stays on, you know, this points to the ball to target line, this line here on the floor, by the time the club gets to hip height here, it's back in the same position as you started. It's down the line of your toes, which we'd love you to get in that position.
So in essence, when I get to here, what straightens the club up?
The shoulders.
Your shoulders. Is moving me hips out of the way.
Yeah, and your shoulders and your chest. Your shoulders and your chest.
Because if I start moving my hips, my shoulders will move.
The problem with you is your shoulders turn right from the start. So, you know, from the top of your swing, the first thing to move is your hands and your shoulders. So your club is out here before you, you know, it's not dropped back into the line of your feet where it went as you started your backswing. Are you starting to understand that a little bit more?
Yeah, I do. It's the trigger.
And get in the comments, guys, are you starting to understand this more? Is there another way that, or have you had lessons like this where you think there could be some more ways we could explain this to Rob?
I mean, the thing is about I need something to start doing. I mean, what I do when I take the club back, is I kind of just do a forward press, which is like in my head. That's my trigger to move.
Well, I would say your trigger on your downswing then would be your right knee into your left, because that takes away, in your mind, it takes away your hands and your shoulders. So it's.
I mean, when you just said that, and I started to, as soon as I did that, automatically, my body's starting to turn, my shoulders are starting to turn, and all I need to do is maintain that. Because it will. I mean, that's the perfect, like that anyway, isn't it?
And what I'm not expecting perfection from you, Rob, here. You know, we're starting to put some swing thought, we're starting to put some little things in your mind here that should encourage, you know, the right impact factors. If we can get your swing a little bit more on plane from where it were, you know, at the start of this lesson, then, you know, we're on the right path, aren't we? You know, we can't expect perfection, you know, in one lesson.
I mean, the thing is, it's like after the alignment thing, I went up to driving range a few times and did what you said about every time I put a ball down, I picked a target, I walked away, I came in, so that it becomes a natural thing. And I tell you what's another thing that you told me on the last lesson that I found that I don't think about now, is putting my hand underneath and tucking my elbow in. I don't even think about it now.
It just comes natural.
It's like as soon as you adjust the ball, I just bring it in and bring it under.
Right, come on, Rob, these guys want to see you to bowl.
All right.
Well done. Good. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to observe you from behind, and
Yeah.
I'm going to sort of take some slow-mos of your swing to see if we can see any improvement. But what I want you to do is in between each shot, first make sure you're on some nice lies, because obviously you're trying something new here, so it's going to be a bit more difficult. I want you to swing to the top of your backswing, and I want you to practice your trigger, so your right knee into your left, and I want you to practice maintaining that, you know, your hands being laid off. So your hands being laid off, so that butt of the club, making sure you're setting that, so that's, you know, pointing to here, and then as you trigger your knee, your right knee into your left.
So that's the right position.
That's the right position. Right knee into your left, and maintain that.
Yeah.
So you're maintaining that angle there. That's your kind of. That's what I want Rob to do as his kind of, you know, swing foot before you hit the ball. When you're on the driving range, them 2 points, top of your backswing, checking his left hand position, and then from there his trigger being his right knee and maintaining that left, you know, that left wrist position being laid off. Yeah, when you're ready, Rob. Well, he's rehearsing the right move. It's a better move he's rehearsing. I mean, I can see there with my naked eye that that's better than what it were. You know, obviously we haven't slowed it down there yet, which we'll have a chance to do, you know, when I edit the video.
I need to...
I think what this will do for Rob as well is it will improve your actual, you know, it won't make you too snappy from the top with your hands, because you're unwinding from the bottom. You're going to be a bit later with your hands, so it's going to just make the sequence of movement better anyway.
I mean, I just trusted it, swing it, but the weird thing is, because
I see this from all my lessons. Get it on a nice lie. You know, you're trying a complete new swing here,
digging it out,
and he's got it in a bloody hole. Good strike. That's fantastic. You're really catching them well. Jadzier's worse for that. You know, it's always in an hole. So don't forget to rehearse this in between each one, because it's dead easy to slip into your old habits. Look at that left wrist position. Are you happy with that? Is that butt of the club pointing where it needs to be? You know, your wrist here, that needs to be 45 degrees. That's better. So that's pointing at that white stick then.
The weird thing is that when I get to here and you're saying about me, it feels as though I'm going to hit it like that, but I'm not, because my hips...
No, because as your hips start to turn, you maintain that club being behind your body. It
automatically straightens up the club, doesn't it?
I'm just going to give you another visual. Can I just borrow that club? Because this is something you can train with at home, guys. If you've got alignment sticks, you could set the club or the alignment stick so it's, you know, extending the club, and then when you're taking it back, you can stop at the top here. This is what you need to do, Rob. You can stop here and make sure that white stick is pointed down to the white stick on the floor.
Yeah.
So in your case, you know, your bad one is like that.
Got you.
So it's
yeah.
And then as you're coming down and you move your shoulders, it gets here like this. So it's always across yourself like that. We want from here, you're unwinding your hips and you're keeping that white stick pointing. It's moving down the line, and as it goes past the ball, it stays on that line, and then the club, you know, is going to be coming down
release it then,
on plane. See if you can hold on to that for us and have a go. And this is something you can be doing at... Have you got a bit of room at home? Just here like that. Oh, that's it. Have you got a bit of room at home to have a swing?
Outside I have, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that needs to
might
go
just be a bit like there.
That's it, yeah.
That's it. That's it. Is that pointing you? Can you see, guys? That's better. Yeah, that's pointing at that stick. So your first. Excellent strike. Look at the quality of that strike. And look at the divot as well. That's another sign. The divot is absolutely square. I'll show you a picture of that one, guys. I think there's two major things here for you, Rob. I think it's laying your hands off so that your club is actually on plane at the top of your backswing. So when he starts his swing, it's starting from the right position. So making sure the butt of the club is pointing at your target line. And then really your second thing is just making sure you start the swing with your lower half. You're starting the right sequence so your shoulders aren't coming over from the start. You know, I think in conclusion, they're your 2 points to work on. And then
it is. Now you're saying it,
from there.
I start that,
yeah,
which then makes everything else move, and it should be the reverse.
It should be the other way around, yeah. And you know, you could always YouTube this. I'm sure there's plenty of other, you know, things on YouTube for body sequence in a golf swing. But body sequence for me is very closely related, you know, to why people, if they've not got the right body sequence, come over the top, because they start from their upper body instead of the lower body.
It is. I mean, some of the things that like I said about this automatically doing that is doing things that's muscle memory that just logged in, and I have to log in the feeling of what I'm doing and ignore what if I get you if that's in the right position now. I've just got to get used to that feeling and do it, as opposed to thinking, is my hand it right? Because if I start doing that and when I'm swinging,
no, and you made a great point. Try to do the setting of your hands in your practice rehearsal, so that, you know, you're checking in your practice rehearsal that's right, and then hopefully that feeling becomes, like you've just said, natural, and you can put it into practice. What you might have to do though is in your practice swing is just check it. Just check that it's not slipping back, because otherwise, you know, you could spend all your time rehearsing something that's not right, and it won't come natural straight away. It's like,
I know it's a daft analogy. It's like acting. When I'm doing a play and I'm rehearsing, you try all the things in rehearsal, and you do all that. If you've got an accent, you've got a thing, but you do the play and you just do it and hope that what you've done in rehearsal sticks. You can't be doing the play thinking, now I'll do this act, I'll do that. And it's the same with golf. When you're actually playing golf, you just hope that what you've rehearsed becomes natural.
Exactly. I think we're going to finish on that point from Rob, which is a great point. I hope you've enjoyed that, guys. You know, I'm going to give Rob some more time to spend on this, but that is the first step for, you know, for Rob on how to improve his swing playing and try to stop you from coming over the top.
Yeah.
Cheers, Rob.
Thanks a lot, Gareth.
Thanks a lot.